written a little bit about this, but my dad would read us stories. Just fairy tales, medieval times, and he's an artist as well as an author. And he would draw us, me and my sisters, Audrey and Jennifer, he would draw us little pictures like, you know, knights and fair ladies and even, well, fantasy stuff like centaurs and that kind of stuff for us to color. So medieval has always just been something I love. So that's kind of why I said it there.
How many of you have already started reading the book? Okay, quite a few. So y'all know Lady Jocelyn. I don't want to be a spoiler. Don't keep walking backwards. You keep walking. I'm trying to do it. Okay. I keep walking backwards. She keeps coming. So I want you to tell us, what is something about your favorite part of Lady Jocelyn's personality and character? She's the main character. Something about her personality that you really love and what she became in the book.
Okay, well, Jocelyn has to flee the convent that she has found that she's kind of being held a prisoner there. So even though she's afraid, she has such a sense of longing for her family that she gathers up her courage to go and, you know, reunite with her family. So I like her journey of courageousness and doing what needs to be done no matter how hard it is, and becoming stronger for it.
Okay. Well, what about Malcolm? What is it about his personality and character that you really love?
I love that he's strong and he's hunky. Yes. He's just a manly man. He's what he's kind of like John.
It's the flowing hair.
I got that.
No, I think Malcolm is a lot like John in that he's strong, he knows who he is, and he's really kind. Even when he is, not happy with circumstances, sometimes he is kind and protective and self-sacrificial.
So if you look at the cover of the book, you'll notice the resemblance.
Did not see that coming.
So when you're writing this book, I know stories kind of take a character of their own and take turns maybe that you didn't even expect. What happened in this story as you were writing that you didn't expect to happen? That the story just developed in ways that you didn't foresee, but as you're writing, it just had to go there.
In my first draft of the book, I had the abbess of the convent and the stepmother being super evil, and they both played a major part in the story. When I got the book contract and the editor went through it, evidently I had to tone down those people, the evilness of these people. It just wasn't believable. So I think what surprised me was enjoying writing all of the evilness. I'm such a nice person, so to be able to, get to be mean, I don't know, but I ended up having to rewrite the last third of the book. So all of that is kind of new to me, and sometimes I even forget what I wrote. It's been so fresh. So
what is it about the writing process? This is your debut novel. What is it about the writing process that you didn't expect?
I didn't expect to dislike the editing so much. I love just thinking of a story, and it always looks like a movie in my mind, and to get it out on the paper or computer, that's so fun. But going back and trying to make it, I know my dad's this way, he loves the rewrite process, to shine it up and make it sound better, and But
He just says that.
he's really good at it.
Yeah.
That's just hard for me. So I think that's what was shocking, is to not like some aspect of it and still keep doing it.
So you said in your mind it's a movie
Yes.
playing, that's like this. So when the screenplay is written of Lord of Her Heart, which part do you want to play?
I want to be the evil one. I think that'd be really fun.
There's only one evil one?
Well, yeah. Spoiler, I can't say.
Well, if you were to say something about this book to encourage somebody to read it, to say what it might give to maybe a young reader even, why would you encourage them to read this? What would they find there that you think would be interesting?
When I started this story, I just wanted to write a fun story to escape in. Reading has just been such a big part of my life, and to escape into another world is just such a joy for me, and that's really all I wanted. So I tried to make it fun. There's a lot of sword fights and tournaments, and there's some kissing, which is fun. And I like humor, so there's a little bit of humor in it as well. So, yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, I like it.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to just open up for a little Q&A from everybody else. You've got church friends here, you've got family friends, you've got writer friends.
I have writer friends here.
And Barry thought it was that you shouldn't get the softball questions from your husband. He thought you should get the hard questions from everybody else.
Bring it on.
Oh, that was Nathan.
I got that left to see, but
Okay. So does anybody have a question that you would like to ask Sherrinda about her book or her writing? Does anybody have a question? Nancy.
How many hours a day do you write?
Well, I used to write about 6 to 8 hours a day, and then I got a puppy. I love my puppy, but I have to kind of write around his schedule. So I usually I get in about 2.5 hours in the morning, and about the same in the afternoon. So, and in the evening, I kind of try to do business, all that blogging. And I'm sorry for my Facebook posts. I know it's been all about my book, but hopefully that will end soon. Publishers really want me to market.
Randy.
is this part first in a series, or do you have a sequel in mind? Or
I have taken Ian, he's the head guardsman in Lord of Her Heart, and I've given him his own story.
And his name is?
Ian
Ian.
McGowan. So he's got his own story. I have finished the book, and it's in the rewrites. So, yeah.
Thank you, Randy. Thomas, one from our very own household.
When did the process for this book start?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think it was about 10 years ago. I had turned 40. It was a few years after I turned 40. And I had always thought it would be so fun to write a book. And I even started one in high school. I wish I had that. I had kept that, but I didn't. So after I turned 40 and the kids were older, I thought, I'm not going to die without at least trying to write a book. So that's what I did. And it took several years to
And she hasn't died yet.
She's killing the rest of them. No, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah, it took several years to write, and then I started the process of trying to get an agent. I entered in contests, and it did well in some contests, and it became kind of an idol in my life, and I really felt the Lord really wanted me to set my writing aside and put Him first, so I did. And I remember going up to the front. That was back when we had the altar call kind of thing, and I remember going up to the front and saying, the Lord's told me to put my writing away, and I remember crying about it because it was a hard thing to do. But I guess it was in the end of 2017. I felt the nudge to write again. I was thinking the Lord might be leading me back to it. And I got an email from a published author named Tina Radcliffe. And she asked me to join a group that she wanted to mentor for 2018. And I thought, Lord, thank you. That's my sign to jump back in. And so I know Stacy was part of that group, weren't you? Were you part of that group? No, okay, sorry, okay. Oh, these ladies over here in my DFW, American Christian Fiction Writers group from the DFW chapter. Thank y'all for coming. And two of these are in my critique group. So, yeah, I jumped back in, and then she helped me work through the book and through all this stuff. And then in 2018, I did a Twitter pitch. I just pitched this book. I couldn't get an agent with a medieval. Nobody wanted to publish a medieval. So on Twitter, you could put in your little pitch for your book, and I got the Lighthouse Publishing of the Carolinas. They wanted to see a proposal. I sent it. She immediately said, send me the full manuscript. And I got a phone call about 3 days later offering me a contract. So it was just kind of it was very exciting. So it was a long process.
So can we get a question back?
Yes.
No. Oh. Gina?
So like you said 10 years ago with what Thomas was saying, so are those characters from that original transcript?
Yes, it is the very same book.
Good.
The very same book. Yes.
I thought you were going to dedicate to me, but I see you dedicated to him. It's okay.
Did you like the dedication? Has everybody read the dedication? Let me read that. I love it. It's one of my favorite things about the book. For John.
Okay. Okay.
That's why you were sweating earlier.
For John. My very own knight in shining armor. Your chivalrous and sacrificial love takes my breath away.
Okay, that's all.
There's one over there. Pay attention, you've got a question over there.
Yes,
Oh,
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Two-part.
Oh boy.
So I can purchase this today, figure it out.
Yes, there's a table right here. Mark, my youngest son, he can take a credit card, debit card, or check. I don't know
Or
if
cash.
Or cash. I don't know
Cash
how
is
many
accepted.
fives we have left. They're $15.
Yeah, they're $15.
Okay, for two, are you prepared for your rest?
I don't think so, but that would be great.
I want to be in the movie.
Okay, Gina, you can be in the movie.
I'll be in the
I'll be one of the nuns.
Awesome.
We got a question back here by the
Yes.
fire extinguisher.
Are your characters based on people that you know?
No.
In particular,
For my
Who is it
first,
that you're based on that you don't know?
well, there's a minor character that I really like named Tom, and I just wondered if at least the name came from it.
I did put Tom in there because I like the name. And it is a little bit of a, but it's not about him. But yeah, my dad.
Good.
And your son.
And my
Yes.
son.
And our son Thomas.
Sherrinda, will your books be in bookstores as well, or just on Amazon?
No, this publisher is a small publisher, and 99% they make it available for bookstores to get it, but they don't advertise that. So I mean, unless you go to a bookstore and say, "Hey, I want to buy this book? Can you order it?" It's not going to be in there. So they get 99% of their sales from Amazon. So that's really where they go, the way they go.
But the bookstore can order.
Yes, they can. But I'm not calling them all, I just,
Everybody go to it.
Would this be considered under the Christian book category or like on Amazon?
Yes.
Would it be part of the Christian?
Yes. And, okay, let me just say, I've been really excited because from its release to, I think about Friday, it's been in 3 different Christian categories. It's like the Christian romance, the Christian fiction, and some historical fiction, I think. And it was in the top 100 in all 3 categories this past week. So,
Anything else? We have one over here from Ava.
When the editor looked at it for the first time and had you make changes, were there some that just broke your heart? You said, oh, I really want to do that?
yes. I took a day and I cried. It's hard when someone goes through your work and, it's just saying, this is not going to work, this is not going to work, not. I did learn through my dad. He's an editor, so he says it happens to all authors, and that is just something that you have to do, and everybody says it. But I had originally wrote it, and I had small chapters in the point of view of my evil characters, so you could kind of get into their head. And the publisher only wanted the book from the hero and the heroine, so I had to kind of delete all that. So I deleted a third of the book. So, but I rewrote it. It's still assembling.
Anything else? Thank you all so much for coming. There are still cookies, there's still books. I did want to say that there's a small restroom just down the hall. If you're able-bodied, go up the stairs. There's a restroom upstairs if you need the restroom. Any other housekeeping? Do you want to make any introductions?
I just wanted to say thank y'all so much for coming. Y'all coming out is just, I know it's a busy weekend, but y'all coming out it just means the world to me. So thank y'all very much. I did want to, yes.
We want to make sure to get a good picture with you and your family.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Thank you.
I do have my family, Thomas and Caleb and Alyssa
Alyssa,
and
come over
Mark.
here, Alyssa.
Y'all come up here. I want Tom